History of Resident Evil. It started in 1960s. Engineer Michael Warren begins the electrification of Raccoon City. The fifth head of the Ashford family, Edward Ashford, begins his research into what would later become known as the progenitor virus. In 1962, Oswald E. Spencer enlists architect George Trevor to design and construct a reclusive mansion on the outskirts of Raccoon City. In December 1966, Oswald E. Spencer, James Marcus, and Edward Ashford officially established the progenitor virus, which reconstitutes a living organism's DNA. In November 1967, the construction of the mansion and lab facilities in the Arklay Mountains is completed. Jessica and Lisa Trevor are injected with the variant of the progenitor virus. The virus fails to establish itself in Jessica, and she is subsequently disposed of. The virus shows promise in Lisa, and as a result she is placed under close observation. George Trevor is chosen to be a test subject. However, due to his intimate knowledge of the mansion facility, he is disposed of instead. In 1968, construction of Raccoon City's public transit trolleys begins in Europe, and they are quickly put into use within the city. Spencer founds the pharmaceutical company Umbrella with Marcus and Edward Ashford. The company is established to mask their biological research. In July, Edward Ashford contracts the progenitor virus and dies. His son Alexander Ashford succeeds him as head of the Ashford family. In August, the Umbrella training facility is established in the Arklay Mountains, with Marcus appointed as director. In February 1969, Alexander Ashford begins to design a facility in Antarctica. He secretly makes plans to build an underground laboratory for the purpose of the Code Veronica project. In November, Umbrella's Antarctic base and research facilities are completed. In 1971, the Code Veronica project is successful. The twins Alfred and Alexia Ashford are born. In 1977, Albert Wesker and William Birkin joined the training facility as prospective managers. In January 1978, Marcus successfully develops the T virus. In July, the closure of the training facility is finalized. Wesker and Birkin transfer their T virus research to the Arklay Research Facility. Marcus continues his research in the closed-down training facility. In July 1981, although only 10 years old, Alexia Ashford graduates at the top of her class from the prestigious university. Birkin begins to view Alexia as a rival. In 1982, Alexia injects her father, Alexander, with the T. Veronica virus, but the experiment ends in failure. In December 1983, Wesker researches secondary exposure to the T virus. He begins to have reservations about Spencer's plans. Alexia injects himself with the T. Veronica virus and enters a 15 years cryogenic sleep. To maintain the secrecy of this plan, it is reported that she died of accidental exposure to the virus. In 1987, Michael Warren becomes mayor of Raccoon City. In 1988, Wesker, under orders from Spencer, assassinates Marcus. Under Birkin's guidance, the T-Virus program begins development of the Bow Tyrant. Umbrella begins work on the Nemesis project at its sixth European research facility. In 1991, Umbrella begins construction of an expansive underground laboratory beneath Raccoon City. Spencer approves Birkin's G-Virus project and work begins on it. Wesker is transferred to the Information Department. In 1992, Umbrella contributes funds for the refurbishment of City Hall and building of the General Hospital. A statue of Michael Vaughan is erected in City Hall. In 1993, Raccoon City Police Chief Brian Irons begins conducting negotiations with Umbrella. Bucking transferred to the underground lab in Raccoon City. Clandestine meetings with Irons begins. Alfred Ashford graduates from a university in England and becomes director of the Antarctic facility. He rises up the ranks to eventually become an executive of Umbrella and then director of Rockford Island. In December, a training facility for anti-bow squad members is completed. In 1994, Joe from Chicago Lab takes over the Birkin at the Oakley Research Facility. Alfred builds a private mansion and prison on Rockford Island. In 1996, Raccoon City Police Department's STARS team is founded with Vasquez as captain. Hank, leader of the Umbrella Special Forces, undergoes combat training at Rockford Island. In May 1998, a mysterious clone of Marcos appears at the Umbrella training facility. There is a large-scale viral leak at the Oakley mansion. The research lab there is destroyed. Cerberus claims its first victim, a 20-year-old woman whose body is found dismembered. In June, Cerberus sightings are reported in the local Raccoon City magazine. In July, two groups are sent to investigate the training facility. The first one is wiped out by bombs located on the premises. There's an increase in reports of accident and missing person in the Oakley Mountains. The city sends the STARS Bravo team to investigate. Bravo team's helicopter experiences engine trouble for unknown reasons and is forced to put down in the Oakley Mountains. Bravo team takes the Ecliptic Express to investigate the training facility, which is later destroyed. Alpha team is sent out to search for Bravo team when communication is lost. The occurrence of the mentioned incident. Bravo team leader Enrico Marini learns Vasquez's true identity. Vasquez murders Enrico. Ravaged by the virus, the mansion and the lab are destroyed. 4 members of Alpha team and 1 member of Bravo team escapes the catastrophe. Survivors were Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Barry Burton, Brad Vickers, and Rebecca Chambers. Vasquez escapes the Oakley Research Facility before it is destroyed. In August, former STARS member Chris Redfield learns of the G virus and heads to Europe to investigate Umbrella. In September, the virus spreads throughout Raccoon City via infected mice. The city is declared a biohazard as incidents of cannibalism continue to rise. Bucking completes work on the G virus. A zombie horde attacks the city's police station. The police station is destroyed and Chief Iron descends into mania. Warren escapes the city but leaves his daughter behind. UBCS, Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service, arrives in the city to begin rescue operations. Rookie police officer Leon S. Kennedy arrives in the city at the same time as Roy Redfield. Umbrella deploys the Bow Nemesis D-Type into the city, and it begins its hunt for former STARS member Jill Valentine. Umbrella deploys mass-produced tyrants into the city. Leon and Claire escape the city with William and Annette Birkin's daughter Sherry. With the arrival of U.S. military, the city is placed under martial law. UBCS survivors are exploited by Umbrella's official observer of the situation, Nikolai Ginovaev, and they die off one by one. The hospital is destroyed. Ada Wong and Hank each acquire samples of the Yi virus. The underground lab in Raccoon City is destroyed. In October, the US government decides to eliminate the virus threat by destroying Raccoon City with a missile strike. In December, Claire infiltrates the Paris laboratory only to be captured and imprisoned on Rockford Island. Vasquez attacks the island with his own private force and releases the T-virus into the island. Claire escapes from the prison and sends an email to Leon asking for help. Her location is made known to Chris. Jill escapes Raccoon City and goes to Chris' apartment, but he has already left for Rockford Island. Alfred Ashford escapes the island. Chris arrives at Rockford Island and finds Wesker. Alexia Ashford wakes up from her cryogenic sleep at the Antarctic base. Alfred dies shortly after. Claire and Chris are reunited at the Antarctic base and together they defeat Alexia. They escape before the base is destroyed. In 2002, Jack Krauser fakes his own death and joins Vesker's secret organization. In February, Chris and Jill take part in the mission to destroy the Umbrella research facility in Russia. They were successful in destroying a new bow known as Talos. The US President's daughter, Ashley Graham, is kidnapped by the religious group known as the Los Illuminatis, and actual kidnapping was carried out by Krauser. Leon Kennedy was scheduled to join Ashley's Secret Service detail, but is ordered to find her instead. Leon Kennedy is injected with the last plague's parasite by the Los Illuminados. After that, he and Ashley, who is also infected with the same parasite, take shelter in a church. After escaping the village, Leon and Ashley are forced to seek refuge in an old castle, but Ashley is once again apprehended. This time she is taken to an isolated island by Krauser under the order of Roman Salazar, the eighth head of the Salazar family. Leon confronts Salazar and defeats him. Leon heads to the island to find Ashley, and it is there that he defeats both Jack Krauser and Osmond Sadler, the leader of the Los Illuminados cult. Leon and Ashley use the facility on the island to remove the parasite. Ada Wong steals the last plague's parasite sample from Leon. Leon and Ashley escape from the island by jet ski. And this is the history of the Resident Evil. I'm really sorry for the mistakes that I made during this video. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe my channel for more videos like this one. Have a nice day.